Hey everybody, it's Elaine, the Ninja Life Coach, and welcome to my channel today. Let me scoot over here into the frame. I'm heading out of here. Today, I'm going to show you how to thin a wig. So sit back, grab yourselves a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. Hey everybody, I'm back, and I have old Debbie here, which is my old standby wig. Now Debbie, I have thinned her probably 6 or 7 times, and I think I have cut more hair off of this wig than I have that's left on her head. But thinning a wig is really not that hard. It's not that difficult. The main thing that you have to do when you're thinning out a wig is to go slow. Don't do anything fast, just take your time. And let me see if I can angle this camera down just a bit. Okay, so here she is, and I don't know how to angle this camera where you're watching me and watching her at the same time. So what you're going to want to do is to first make a part over kind of on the side. You don't want to thin from the top. You want to thin from the underneath hairs. You don't want to thin from the top part because the little synthetic fibers they'll stick up. So this is how to thin a synthetic wig, not a human hair wig. So I want to make that clear right off the bat. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make that part and then just clip it over. Okay. Now, poor old Debbie, I have thinned and worked on this wig, and I never did get her right. This is one of my very first wigs, and I keep her around simply so I can do things like this to, practice stuff. So what you're going to want to do is try to do a little bit of a part and try to get in where the wefts are and try to get it like that. Now you've got just a little tiny piece of hair here. Can you all see that? It's not much. It's about that much. I'm trying to get that in there where you all can see that. So what you're going to want to do is take your thinning shears, something like this that you've gotten at Sally's or Amazon or someplace, and you're going to want to make your first cut pretty close down to the weft. Make your cut, wiggle it down, and then make another cut and pull it out. And that will give you about that much hair. Now, you can go with a smaller amount than that if you want to. The main thing is to go little and go slow. So then once you've done that, thinned it to the amount that you want it thinned, comb that back over and get it like you like it. Now we'll try another section back here and try to stay on the wefts. And this poor wig, I have absolutely beat this gal to death. I have done everything to this poor wig, and you can see where I have cut wefts out and done everything trying to practice on this poor little old thing. So you want to try to get a small amount of hair, about this much. That's about all you need, or less. Let's take a little less. Let's do about that much. Then go all the way down as close as you can get and make that cut. Wiggle that all the way down till you're about 1 inch from the bottom. Cut again and pull your hair out. And you're going to have your hair, and then just discard it. Now, after you've done all that, what you may want to go in and do is steam that wig. Let me see if I can adjust this camera back up. Now, once you've done all that, what you're going to want to do is go in and steam the wig. Steam the fibers down. Now, this wig has been absolutely through the mill. I've cut her bangs practicing on this. I have altered the inside of this thing. I have cut hair off this wig in an attempt to try to make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. This is not a bad wig, but by the time I got through with it, this thing looked horrible. So one of these days I'll put it on and show you what she looks like now after I've whacked and cut and snipped and done everything to her over the last several years, trying to get her to do something, and for me to practice my cutting techniques on this. Now, like I said, if you have human hair wigs, you're probably going to want to take that to a stylist unless you are a hairstylist yourself, because that is kind of a little technique that I can't even begin to tell you how to do that. I have a human hair wig. I have cut my bangs in the human hair wig. I have actually thinned that wig just a little bit on top, but I would not recommend anybody else doing anything like that, because it is tedious, it's nerve-wracking, and it's stressful. But if you'll just go a little at a time off of here, take this, flip it over to where you're cutting from the underside. That's the main thing, is cutting from that underside, and go, I mean, no more hair than probably this right here at a time, and you'll do fine. Now, if you're working on one of these cheap Amazon wigs like what this one is, you can probably take a little bit more hair than that at a time, because those wigs are normally very, very hairy, and you know, you're probably not going to cut too much out of it. But especially if you're working on one of your better wigs, be very, very mindful of the fact that don't get too much hair at a time, or your wig's going to look lopsided. And remember, once that hair is cut off the wig, there's no putting it back. There is no, it's gone. You've ruined a wig. That's why I always work on one of my inexpensive wigs first, and I always keep her around, so that even now, as much as I've cut and sewn and done everything in the work, you know, put combs in and, you know, altered the caps and done all that stuff on all the wigs, I still practice on this wig sometimes before I'm getting ready to cut into one of my better wigs, because, you know, I want to make sure I've got that technique down, just to make sure that I don't mess up one of my good wigs. So now, as you can tell, this wig looks absolutely like Frankenstein on the inside, where I have cut, altered, and done everything in the world to this wig. She actually has a hole in the back where I made too many cuts. When the first time I was trying to take out some of the wefts, I actually accidentally made one cut too many, and there is kind of a little weft hole back here that I need to go in and stitch back down. But this is what she looks like. This is the Bride of Frankenstein.